And welcome back to Rediscover OER at UTA Day 4. Days 1 through 3 focused on access and fit, and today is about agency. Open pedagogy invites students to move from consumers to contributors by creating work that matters to a real audience. We'll keep this simple and practical, and in 15 minutes, you'll pick one right-size move that you can try this week or soon with consent and care built in. So let's ground that promise with a quick what and why so we are speaking the same language. So open pedagogy invites learners to make something useful beyond a grade, a real audience, not just the faculty member, the professor. We use open licenses so work can be improved, shared, and seen when students choose. It's three shifts at once, really. A mindset shift toward contribution, a teaching shift toward publishing useful artifacts, and a learning shift from recall to creating. But how do we get there? With the practices you see on this slide. We make ideas visible and remixable. We connect communities. We invite student-generated content. We build peer review and reflective practices. And we use participatory tools in a culture of openness and trust. Not a checklist or a fixed order. It's more of a toolkit. So some examples are like collaborative annotation to surface ideas, peer review to raise quality, a small public artifact with an attribution to build the commons. Really, open pedagogy can be and is a lot of things, but here's like the most simple way to look at it. So the what, students shift from consumer to contributor by making something useful for an audience, or a real audience. How? OER and the 5 Rs permit us to retain, reuse, revise, remix, redistribute. Those permissions convert closed, disposable tasks into renewable work. Renewable assignment is really the first open pedagogy step that I would suggest anybody take. Simply provide a public or authentic audience for your students' work and share. Why? Relevance goes up, belonging grows, and the work serves a public good. That's really the heartbeat of open pedagogy. Since real audiences are involved, we do want to start with consent and care before we pick what we're going to do first with open pedagogy. So some of our pillars are publishing is optional. Students can keep work private in the course, share with a limited audience, or go fully public. If someone opts out, they can complete an equivalent assignment for the same credit. We don't want to force open onto anybody. Students choose three things: how they're named, whether it's the full name, their initials, or their pseudonym, or a group byline, who can see the work, whether it's course only, link only, a program audience, or the public, and whether to add a Creative Commons license like CC BY or CC BY NC, or all rights reserved if they want to do that. As the OER librarian, I can help teach students about quick CC licenses and basics and help you and your students pick a good fit. Before anything is shared, we can run through a simple check, consent on file, attribution lines present, and basic accessibility like alt text and captions. The idea is really simple. We grade the learning, not the decision to go public. And if you want models, the Open Pedagogy Notebook has some solid examples that you can adapt. So check that out if you'd like to. So now that we've covered consent and safety, let's look at what it looks like to find that right size fit with open pedagogy. So this is the Open Pedagogy Scope Matrix, and this matrix keeps us from thinking open pedagogy means rebuilding a whole course. You just pick a level that fits your week, your time, and your risk tolerance. Each level names a real student product, a clear audience, and a license or visibility choice. Start with one and then try another one. Just an overview here. With 10 minutes, you can swap one generic example for a local one your students find. They could be the ones to find it. Keep it within that one section, put the attribution line in together and model how to do it. In an hour, have students draft a glossary entry with sources, then run a short peer review. The audience could be your current and the next offering. Share in like a class document under CC BY or let students use a pseudonym if they want. And then add a quick consent checkbox to that submission so that you've got that on file. In a week, you can co-create a short case with 2 discussion questions and a mini rubric tuned with the students. Share it with program peers or a class site. Choose licenses, let students choose their licenses and choose how they're seen, and then do some accessibility checks and offer an alternative if someone doesn't want to share openly. And then on a bigger scale, in a full semester, you could build a whole class reader chapter with figures and full attributions in Pressbooks. You could aim it at the public or a partner course. Students select the license and how they want to be seen, and then maybe a visioning plan so they know how they're going to change it. And then you have all the signed consent, authorship, and a light maintenance plan. So those are the different levels that you can start with. Start with the 10 minutes. It can be super fast. It doesn't have to be anything big and crazy. So now that we've got those kind of ideas, I want to share with you some practical, real use cases for these ideas. So remember, disposable assignments vanish after grading. Renewable assignments create or improve a resource for others to use. So renewable can look like student-written case studies or glossary terms added to an OER, a local data appendix or policy brief collection, H5P created self-checks or worked solutions, explainer videos, audio messages. Students are great at making TikTok style little micro learning videos, translations, or plain language chapter summaries, better images with alt text, an image bank with alt text, social annotation and hypothesis that feeds edits. There's a ton of different things that you can do to make your assignments renewable. This menu gives you some quick ideas and kind of puts it into those levels that I showed you in the matrix. So columns show the kind of practice. We have collaborative projects where students create together or review each other's work. We have student created content where students actually author course artifacts and future learners will use them. And then we have open knowledge contributions. Students actually add to already created public knowledge spaces like Wikipedia, adding to Pressbooks or open data sets. So how do you start all this? First of all, you could start big or you could start small, but you should absolutely start where you feel the most comfortable. Use the scope matrix and the Open Made Easy menu to pick one idea and try it out. That's enough. That's all you need to do. Next, use our resources. We have an open pedagogy rubric and consent pack that we're putting in today's activities for you that you can grab and download and customize for your class, your students, your topic. It includes like instructions for your students, consent options rubric, CC license options and support, and then a pre-published checklist so that everybody's on the same page. And then, of course, reach out to us if you want help brainstorming or picking an activity, picking the artifact that you want students to create, the tools, licenses. We're here to co-plan with you. We really do enjoy doing that with faculty. So today was a little bit shorter with open pedagogy. I hope that you'll try one of the activities that I shared with you. Thank you for joining us on day 4. To keep the learning going, check out today's activities. In the Engage section, you're going to find the rubric and consent pack that is there for you to download. There's also an OER crossword puzzle created in H5P for you to preview and try out if you'd like. And of course, reach out to us if you have any questions, concerns, or would like to brainstorm or discuss licenses. The OER team is here to help you out. Have a great day.